This News Update is brought to you by...
It's the most wonderful time to stay connected with Flow. Get great deals on prepaid and postpaid plans. Get double the talk, double the text, and double the data when you activate a prepaid or postpaid combo plan, sizes medium and up. All this plus $50,000 to be won from Flow this wonderful Christmas. Visit us in-store today.
'Cause it's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's Thursday, December 29th, and time for your Barbados Today morning update. Thanks for joining us. I am Frenella Wedderburn. We begin with a vow from water sport operators that the recreational activity is safe. The declaration comes on the heels of the death of a British visitor last week in a jet ski accident at Maxwell Beach, Christchurch. It also comes amidst repeated calls for more stringent regulations to be enforced. But Brian Gibbons, who is the owner of Malibu Water Sports in Mullins Beach, St. Peter, describes the incident that led to the death of Jordan Jamal Mayers as a once-in-a-lifetime freak accident. He argued that the activity on the country's waters has been remarkably safe during his 20 years in the business.
The facility before you start going on a jet ski, the guys instruct you where to ride, how to control the bike, stop and start button, and tell you when not to go to the reef or not to ride close on. If you come at each other, you turn right, each bike turn right from each other. So it means that they're all instructed before they leave the beach, okay. All properly instructed.
And normally you guys have your own, let's say somebody runs into trouble out there.
Yes.
Is it easy for somebody to just get on a jet ski and get out there?
Yes, if anybody turn over or anything like that, the guys will come here and rescue you with the next jet ski, or I will go in the boat and get them turned back over, whatever the case may be.
In other news, this Thursday, the resumption of talks on salary increases for civil servants will be the National Union of Public Workers' top priority early in the new year. Our Emmanuel Joseph has more in this report.
A source close to the talks between government and the NUPW tells Barbados Today the union will push for a quick settlement to pay talks for public workers in January on the heels of successful negotiations for wage increases for airport workers as well as appointments in the public sector and National Housing Corporation. The source says the union is expecting to get an early date from the Ministry of the Civil Service for the resumption of negotiations. According to the source, the union was pleased that the 400 airport workers received their back pay before Christmas and was looking forward to them getting their new 7% wage hike on top of the retroactive pay as soon as possible. The union is demanding a 23% pay hike for public sector employees. Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
A charity group from St. Philip is counting its losses after thieves hit its base on Christmas Day. President of the Sunrise Community Club in Rices tells Barbados Today the perpetrators helped themselves to thousands of dollars in goods, particularly alcohol, and left behind some property damage. He estimated the loss at over $3,000, which is about the same amount of damage suffered when burglars hit the club 2 to 3 years ago.
When we got in here, we found that the kitchen was broken into and all the cupboards were smashed open. And all of the drinks we had there and some other things were missing. You know, drinks, we estimate the loss to be over $3,000, you know, in drinks that we've lost. And this is not the first time we've lost drinks here. We've lost drinks about 2 or 3 years ago. We had a break in here. They came through the other side, in front of the building that time. And they took away drinks, they took away the television we had, the MC TV box we had, and some other things. And then losses was about the same amount. And then just about 2 or 3 months ago, we did a competition here and we suffered losses again where we had, and we received some counterfeit $100 bills, about 5 of them. So it was hard done within the last couple of years, you know. And we're out into the community trying our best to serve the community.
A security guard will spend the next 28 days at HMP Dodds after appearing in a Bridgetown court accused of stealing 26 television sets worth over $26,500. Linus Joel Cumberbatch of Upper Wavell Avenue, Blackrock, St. Michael, denied stealing the appliances belonging to Kensington Oval Management, Inc., when he appeared before Magistrate Douglas Frederick yesterday. The 33-year-old allegedly committed the offense sometime between July 28 and December 19 this year. Cumberbatch was remanded to prison until January 25, 2017 to reappear in the number 2 District A Magistrates Court. In sports now, some scores from yesterday's National Sports Council Youth Development Program Community Under 17 football competition. St. George North beat St. Joseph 5-0, complements a brace from striker Terrell Hines when the two sides met at the Market Hill ground. While in the other game of the day, St. Philip North defeated St. Philip South 2-1 at the same venue.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Still News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only care do. $2.20. Who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Read all about it. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Let's get your paper. You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados Today app on my phone and I just get my news for free. What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from our Caribbean neighbors, St. Lucia's Prime Minister Alan Shastney has put residents on notice for what he described as a stunning revelation on the $2.6 million Desert Star Holding investment project. The island's leader, in an interview with HTS News Force, said the information will explain why the former St. Lucia Labour Party government decided against the V4 project.
There's more news to come because oh yes, in early January, I will reveal to St. Lucians why the DHS project was abandoned by the Labour Party. And I can assure everybody it has nothing to do with what they've said.
Care to give us a sneak peek?
No, I tell you, the letter is circulating, so some people have probably seen it.
The St. Lucia Labour Party insists that it was not averse to the DSH project, but is concerned about the terms of the current agreement. They believe it is ill-conceived, crowds out public access, and is detrimental to future development by other potential investors. However, the Prime Minister, citing allegations of other mega deals, begs to differ, alleging ulterior motives. He also had some choice words for the previous SLP administration, an army in opposition.
So, and I think that when people get to understand the details of those other projects, that they will see that the statements and the allegations by the Labour Party today are just hypocritical, are malicious, and it shows the lack of sincerity and commitment that they had to the development of this country.
And finally, the United Nations has described 2016 as a challenging year for the international community. It pointed to the conflict in Syria worsening despite efforts to end the fighting, escalating violence and insecurity in South Sudan and Yemen, and a 5 million increase in the number of refugees worldwide. We get more in this report, compliments the UN.
2016, the hottest year on record ever. While some countries felt the direct threat of climate change, the Paris Climate Agreement became the fastest UN treaty ever to enter into force. 2016, yet another year of challenges for the UN, with the Syria conflict in its 6th year, a polarized Security Council and other protracted conflicts. The UN tried to ease the plight of refugees and the ones left behind. By the end of the year, 250,000 people were trapped in Aleppo, while Syrian government forces and their allies bombed rebel strongholds. Peace talks seemed to lead nowhere, not even to a humanitarian pause in the shelling. The World Food Programme and its partners sent supplies to more than 4 million people inside Syria, even to hard-to-reach areas. Yet there's been little access to Aleppo since July. An estimated 100,000 children still live in the city, where walking to school can be a traumatizing journey.
And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports update. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Isumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Good morning.